As a reminder, thank you everyone for joining us today. If you have a question, please use the raised hand icon and I will know to call on you. We'll get started first with Joe Chats from On Tap Sports.
Thanks, E. Thanks, Frank. How's it going today, sir?
Good, Joe. Good, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks. Trying to enjoy the sunshine,
Yeah, nice.
To start off, I'm curious with Fede and Mauricio coming back from injury, as well as the guys from international break, what the availability for the squad on Saturday will look like.
Yeah, I mean, Fede will be good to go. He's been training with the team since last week. Mari took part in training today for the most part. So I think he should be available unless something, any setbacks. But he took, I would say, more than 3/4 of the training he was involved, and we were a little bit careful in the end with him. So he missed, one exercise in the end. So the rest of the guys are all in today. They will be doing some stuff inside in the gym, and we should have everyone ready to go tomorrow. So I mean, I think for me, other than Chris Mueller, who's out, and Gaston with cards at the moment, I feel that everyone should be available for selection and would be available for the game.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Alex Calabrese, Men in Red 97.
Hey, Coach. Nice to speak with you today. Calling in from the great state of New York. I'm wondering. Yeah, what's that?
I said, I hope you're well.
I am doing well, thank you. So when you took over the team in May, it honestly felt like playoffs were quite far away. But now, even though you need help from other teams, it's still a possibility going into the last game. Do you think the season would be a failure if you guys don't make the playoffs?
I don't, that word is a failure is not a great word that I would use. But I mean, look, I think the teams that don't make the playoffs, you can look at it that it hasn't been a successful season. There's no other way of sugarcoating or putting it. I wouldn't use that word, but I think there's 8-9 teams that get in, and then there's an opportunity for postseason, and the rest of the teams are not there. So you can't, any way you look at it, for me, it would be a situation where we were not able to accomplish the goals that we set forth. So we wanted to give ourselves an opportunity, and we had. I mean, so anything can happen. I think the important thing is just to focus on what we have to do, and we know it's going to be a difficult match, especially a team that's still, there's a possibility and an option for them depending on what happens tonight. But I'm sure every team wants to finish strong, even if that's their last game of the season. And for us, we just have to go and try to take care of business, and then we'll see what happens with the rest. But we have to, kind of control our situation first, and then, hopefully some things go our way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Larry Hawley, I see that you're on. Do you have a question for Coach?
Hey, Frank, hope you're doing well. I'm curious, just over the last few months, where maybe have you seen some growth from this club, whether the way they play individually, players, and I guess maybe what will you take away from these last few months, whether you make the postseason or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I look at the club and as a whole, I think there's been tremendous growth. I'm not talking now specifically just the team on the field, but I think all around. I think when Joe Mansueto took the team, I think that we were lagging in so many areas, front office, on the business side, on the soccer side, which is the most important thing, for us. And I think he's in his time that he's been here, I think he's put his hand in the pocket, and really has put the resources that we have needed and we lacked before. I think for me in the past, to bring the club up to par and try to become one of the elite clubs, not only in MLS in the world. The last part is just the on-field stuff. I mean, again, I think for us, I think there has been growth, but we're very close. I think we're, the mission and the goal for the team is to be, winning trophies and championships. And, I think getting in the playoffs is is the first step, and it's a club and a team that we haven't been there in a long time. So that's the last part, getting the on-field stuff right and bringing players really with quality, but also that have the culture and are committed to do whatever it takes for the success of the club. And I think we're close, but if we don't do it, I think that we really have to take a hard look and see, the steps that we have to take. And they're not going to be easy steps in order to get there and be a club that's consistently there every year.
Thank you. Ari Lillenwall, I see that you're on as well from MLSsoccer.com. Do you have a question?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the time, Frank. So you've got a bit of a unique situation with this game, fighting for a playoff spot on decision day.
Yeah.
You need a result. In terms of your messaging and mentality to the players for a game like this, how much of it is trying to get them to treat it like a normal game and not make too much of it versus also making sure that they understand the stakes and play up to the moment? Thanks.
Yeah, no, I think, hi, Ari, good question. I think the focus for us, I mean, you can look at it as another game. I think it's important. I think for us, it's always, I think, the preparation, the daily preparation. And I think, what we put forth every day and, how we try to prepare the guys and, from the head of performance guys to the coaching staff and this or that, I think that doesn't change. It's not that we're going to do something crazy where they feel, even though they know that it's a big game and an opportunity, but I think it's business as usual for us. And I think the one thing for us, I think late in the season, I think we've been focused on, especially with on-field stuff, is just really reducing the volume and just increasing the intensity. So it's nice, short and sharp, just to make sure that we are 100% fresh and ready to go with energy come Saturday. And I think the other part is that, we're missing a lot of guys away with international duty. Your fingers are always crossed that they come back and then they're healthy. I think everyone is back today, and hopefully we don't get any bad news tomorrow. But, I watched all their games. They seem to have, been okay after their matches. And look, it's one game right now. You have to put guys that in the end of the day, that you can count on. It's not going to be an easy game. That are guys that they're going to leave everything on the field for you. And that's going to be the most important thing. Be really organized, have a very crystal clear game plan, and put guys that now that we can, that are going to leave everything on the field. And that's the most important thing, Ari. I think that that's the message for me, is that just this game and in every game, it's just making sure that, there's no regrets after the match that say, I could have done this, I could have done that. So, we go with that mindset, prepare well, take care of ourselves, and go and leave everything on the field. And then there's no regrets after that, regardless of what happens. We know it's a game. Anything can happen. We're playing against a good team. And we have confidence in ourselves. We believe 100% that we're a team that we should be in the playoffs. And we need to take the field with that kind of confidence and belief.
Thank you. Joe, I see your hand is back up.
Yes, I did have one more. Thanks, Eve. Thanks, Frank. Just Frank, Maren's coming up next, and I'm just curious what you've seen from him this year on a loan with the buy option from the team. He's provided some versatility, at both winger positions. I'm just curious what you've seen from him. Yeah,
I think for me, it's all about consistency. I think when we need wingers that, look, his characteristics is a guy that has pace, he can get behind, but the thing is always I want two-way players. I think not only getting forward, but also his ability now without the ball to help the team. I think consistency is another thing. I think as any new player coming into the league, it does take time to adjust to the league. I think he came in very strong, I think, and then there's a period where I think normal with the amount of games he's played, our league is a little bit different. He needs to adjust, but look, I think he has qualities to have impact in the final third. I think for me, it's always about consistency, and I need wingers, and we need wingers on the team that are going to be constantly a threat, and we need guys that are going to get on the scoreboard, whether it's assists and goals, and he has the ability. It's just about now realizing to be able to do it consistently.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last question. Alex, I see your hand is up again.
Yes, thanks again. Playing in a baseball stadium presents its own set of challenges, but New York City are a good team as well with a lot of good players. What kind of a game are you expecting on Saturday?
I think it's exciting to play. I remember back in the old days when I used to play, the Sting used to play at Wrigley Field, and they used to get 33,000. So, yeah, I mean, look, New York, they're a very good team. I think we've been focusing today a lot in the last couple of days, and just the way they try to build pressure on us, and the different ways that they look to press and to have solutions available. They definitely have players, quality players, like every team. But it's just making sure that that we're very well prepared, what to expect from them, and then obviously just go with confidence and make sure that the areas that we've been focusing on with the ball and where to attack them, we consistently do that. But it's about confidence, knowing that it's going to be a difficult game. You're going to be in difficult moments, and we got to stay strong in those moments, and then find ways where we keep it really tight defensively. We give nothing away, and then I know that we're going to get some opportunities with the ball to get chances.
Thanks, Coach. See you this weekend.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate it. We will jump right in with Alex Calabrese, Men in Red 97.
Hey, Maren, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So obviously you've been here on loan this season, so there's always a chance this is your last game for the Fire. So how would you reflect on this season and the experience for you? And is coming back next season something that interests you?
Yeah, so first of all, I hope that it's not my last game this season. So that would mean that we will make it to the playoffs. But yeah, other than that, it's been a good season for me. It's my, like you said, first season in the MLS. It was very exciting. A lot of new things, but I think I dealt with the most things pretty well. Yeah, I enjoyed it with the teammates, with the club, with the staff, with the workers, and it's been a good year for me. Yeah, about next season, yeah, we'll see. Like I have an option in my contract, but yeah, it's there are some aspects who play a role in those decisions. So yeah, we'll see. But I can imagine myself being here next season. Yeah.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Joe Chats from On Tap Sports.
Hey, Maren, how's it going?
I'm good, thank you.
First year in MLS, these playoffs are obviously a bit unique to the American soccer system. I'm curious, how you feel about that, if you needed an extra explanation on what needs to happen on Saturday, and just your expectations for playing in a baseball stadium.
Yeah, so about the playoffs, obviously there's no one really who can explain all the possibilities that could play a role, but yeah, we just know that if we win, if we get 3 points, we've done our job, and then we have to see the other games. But I'd be pretty confident that if we get the win, that we can make it to the playoffs. And yeah, it would be my first time in a baseball stadium, so they told me that it's a pretty narrow pitch, and yeah, but it's for both teams the same pitch, you know, so we have to deal with that and try to make the best out of it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Glenn Crooks, I see that you're on. Do you have any questions for Maren?
I didn't prepare a question, but I'd be happy to ask. I appreciate it. I wonder when you look at the last game in particular, I'm looking at your game and then New York City's last game. Both were so important for both teams, yet they didn't quite reach the level that you would have liked. And you were coming off that really huge match at Soldier Field with the great attendance. So what do you think happened in that game, and how could that impact what happens in this next one? Thank you.
Yeah, so obviously we missed a huge opportunity last game, especially after a game, like you said, against Miami, where with the crowd and with the performance was really good. But yeah, I think the first half was really not good. We didn't start the game really well. We weren't on our front foot, and I'd say they were more aggressive, more quicker to the ball, more aggressive, more active. And second half was better. Obviously, after the penalty given against us, it was very difficult. But yeah, we tried to move on from that, and obviously now we have a final for us, final game. It's do or die basically. So we prepared as well as possible for this game, and yeah, we're looking for this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Larry, do you have any questions for Maren?
Yep. Thanks for taking some time this afternoon. I'm curious, just in your time with the club, maybe what you've seen this team improve on, where you've seen this team maybe grow a little bit, and what you might take away from this season, you know, make the playoffs or not.
Yeah, so obviously the start of the season was I'd say we had good performances, but the results weren't like pretty what we expected, because we had good games and then late equalizers or late losses. So was up and down. In the middle of the season was we had a pretty good phase where we were winning, we were full of confidence. And yeah, just like everything can happen in a season, you know, you have these ups and downs, and but we know that the most important in a season is obviously to finish it good. So we have a chance now on Saturday to make a good ending, and yeah, so it was a good season, I would say, with ups and downs, and a lot of things for sure to learn from for the future.
What has it been like having these 2 weeks after the Charlotte loss to kind of not only prepare and think about it, but also understanding the consequence of the matches that you'll play this weekend?
Yeah, I don't know if we needed these 2 weeks to understand the importance of the game from the next game, but yeah, it was good we had some days off, and then to turn off, you know, to forget the game, and to just get the mind free again to look forward for the next game as well. So I think we prepared good. Now 2 more days, and then we're ready.
Thank you very much, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Last one, Adi, do you have a question?
Yeah, sure. Hi Maren, thanks for the time. So when you're in a situation like this where your playoff hopes basically come down to this one game, what's your mentality and approach as a player? And how do you kind of strike the balance of, knowing what's on the line and playing up to that moment versus kind of trying to maintain your normal game?
Yeah, so I think I can just speak for myself, but I think it's important to don't try to do crazy things, just try to keep your rituals, because even though it's an important game, but if you overdo a lot of things, it can go bad as well, So we know of the importance, but it's important to stay cool, stay relaxed, and yeah, it's a football game, 90 minutes, so yeah, try to do your things, what's expected from you, and yeah, just stay cool, just stay relaxed, even though we know the importance, like I said, but yeah, that's it.
Great. Thank you, Maren. Thank you so much for taking the time today, and thank you everyone for joining the call.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.